Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Raise the Standard podcast. This is your host, Kaylin Piles. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about feminine and masculine energy in regards to your health and fitness journey. So if you've listened to previous episodes on my podcast, you know that this is a topic that I hit on a lot because it is so important to become self-aware of your energy and the energy that you're putting out, and just developing this sense of self-awareness around yourself and being more in tune with who you are, with your body, with the way that you think and your actions. And so in today's podcast episode, I want to intermingle health and fitness and wellness when it comes to feminine and masculine energy. And if you're not familiar with feminine and masculine energy, you're probably like, what in the world does feminine masculine energy have to do with my health and fitness journey, with losing weight, with building lean muscle mass, what have you? So I'll give you a little bit background on obviously myself and a little bit of my own health and fitness journey as well, as I take the feminine masculine energy topic and smash it with how this all applies together. So first and foremost, I have been running my own company, The Higher Standard, since 2017. We are an all women's wellness company where we work with one-on-one clients through nutrition and programming, obviously accountability and community. And we have a pretty dope community of women. The Higher Standard is for those women who know that they're meant for more. They are committed to holding themselves to a higher standard, not only in the way that they take care of themselves and show up for themselves in their health and fitness journey, but in every other area of their life as well. And that is our biggest message for our community and our clients, is the importance of holding yourself to a higher standard, because I want everyone to just recognize that we only have so many years here on this earth. And if we're settling, if we're running through the motions, if we're on autopilot all the time, is that the life that you want to live? This one life that we are given, is that really how we want to live it? And maybe honestly, for some people, sure, maybe that is the way, maybe that is the route. But for me personally, and if you're inside of my world, like, that's not how we roll. We want it all. We want to experience it all. We want to hold ourselves to a higher standard in all areas of life. We want to be able to experience the best of everything. And that's what we do inside of our community. And we start with obviously working on ourselves. And so if you're a part of the Higher Standard, if you're a client inside of the Higher Standard, you may or may not be familiar with the 5 C's. And I'm not going to focus this podcast episode on the 5 C's, but I want to give you a little background on it, just so that you have a better understanding of the Higher Standard in the community and the message that we bring to our community and to our clients as a team. And so if you're a one-on-one client inside of the Higher Standard, what we do is we focus on the first 3 C's. And what that is cognition, cultivation, and complexion. And cognition is obviously working on the mindset. And when we work through the first 3 C's, you'll recognize that the first 3 C's have nothing to do with anybody else, but everything to do with mastering who you are and going on a self-mastery journey. So like I said, the first C is cognition and working on your mindset. And we do that inside of the Higher Standard through a lot of our master classes and trainings, and obviously with our one-on-one check-ins with our clients. So the second C is cultivation. This is the C that everyone gets really excited about. This is personal development. This is when we're talking about cultivation, we're talking about cultivating a life that you're obsessed with, like putting your creation and your effort into actually creating a life that you love. And so cultivation ties with personal development because you have to work on yourself and you have to become self-aware and you have to understand, your strengths and your weaknesses. And you have to be able to really go in depth with yourself and your own personal development journey in order to create something beautiful for yourself. And that's where today's topic, when we're talking about feminine and masculine energy, I would say that this fits under the cultivation C that we have for the 5 C's, because understanding feminine and masculine energy is part of that self-awareness. So obviously that goes hand in hand with personal development and, again, becoming super self-aware. Now, the third C is complexion. So obviously front facing, when you're a client or you're just starting your health and fitness journey, like that's complexion, that's the physical, right? And so this is what everyone is seeing. Everyone is seeing, oh, like I'm going to hire a coach, I'm going to start one-on-one coaching, and I'm going to work on my physical body. But what you don't understand, or maybe what you don't necessarily recognize, is you're also going to get the cognition and the cultivation piece, as well as the complexion piece, when joining the higher standard and working with a one-on-one coach or being in one of our programs. And so that third C, complexion, is obviously the way that you take care of your body and your physical health. And this is, working out, this is nutrition, this is, all of the things that you're seeing front facing when hiring a coach. So I just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of a background there, just so that you have, just a better understanding of how this all ties together. Because today's topic, we're going to be intermingling the cultivation side and the complexion side together. And just to kind of give you a glimpse of the other 2 C's, when it comes to the 5 C's method instead of the higher standard, the other 2 C's have nothing to do. I mean, I'll take that back. It has everything to do with you, but it involves other people. Now, by mastering the first 3 C's, the cognition, which is your mindset, the cultivation, which is your personal development, and the complexion, which is your physical body, the last 2 C's become a little bit easier, or maybe a lot easier for some. And those 2 C's are connection, which is all about your relationships. And for a lot of people, if you do not have very great relationships, a lot of times it's because we're missing something in the self-mastery part of the first 3 C's. Whether that's your mindset, needing to work on that, your personal development, needing to work on that, or just literally showing up for yourself and taking care of your body, which is so important. We only get one body to live in, so we need to be taking care of it. So that is the 4th C. The 4th C is connection. That's your relationships. That's your intimate relationships, like what have you. And the very last C at the very top of the pillar is going to be the one that I feel like a lot of people have the most focus on, and that's your career. And when it comes to feeling fulfilled with your purpose and your career, this is going to have a lot to do with how you feel with the first 4 C's, because if you haven't mastered yourself and you don't have really good connections, you may struggle a lot with feeling aligned with your purpose. Okay. And so that is just the background of the 5 C's. I didn't want to make this whole episode about that. Maybe we'll go deeper into that on another episode. But I just wanted to tie all of that together so that you guys can get a full-blown picture of why I'm talking about health and fitness and feminine and masculine energy. But it's because both of those things fit into 2 of the 5 C's, which again is going to be your cultivation and your complexion pillars. So let's go ahead and dive on in to this, and I will give you a little bit background on my own health and fitness journey. And obviously I've been on my own personal development, self-mastery journey for quite some time, since 2016, which is when I was very, very, very intentional with it. I've always done self-reflection. I've always done journaling and whatnot, ever since I could literally ever remember. But I would say I was very intentional with my own personal development journey around 2016. So when it came to my health and fitness journey, I have been on my health and fitness journey since 2011. So it's been about 12 years. So a very long time, a lot of trial and error. And again, that's why it's so important and why I'm so passionate about having a coach, because when you hire a coach, you're hiring someone who has so much more experience than you. They've done all the trial and error. They've tried everything. They know what works. And so by hiring a coach, like, you're able to save yourself so much time, because they're giving you the real deal. They're literally just telling you, like, yo, this is what works. I know it works. Trust me. But a lot of times as a client, we can get a little bit hard-headed, and we're like, no, like, I need to be restricting, or I need to be eating less, or I need to be working out more, or, we kind of press against our teacher or our coach. But I promise you, just from my perspective, like, just remember that 9 times out of 10, when you hire a coach, like, they have experienced so many things, and they're just trying to help you save some time. So I'm trying to do that for you today by talking about how your health and fitness journey has so much to do with feminine and masculine energy, and being self-aware of how you float between those two energies when you're focused on losing weight, building muscle, or whatever your goal is for your health and fitness journey. So for me personally, when I first started my own health and fitness journey, like most people, I had literally had no idea what the heck I was doing. I would go to the gym, I would get on the, what was it called? I almost said escalator, not escalator, but why am I totally blinking on this? But it was one of those machines that it's a cardio machine. Why am I so blinking on it? Anyways, we'll just call it a treadmill. It's not a treadmill, but you get what I'm saying. You get the gist. But I would just basically just get on a treadmill, and I would just, walk, or I would jog for, 30, 45 minutes, call it a day. And I had no idea what I was doing. I was scared, terrified of the gym. And I think it's funny. And I also think it's a good thing to even just say these things, because I know that for a lot of people who are just now starting their health and fitness journey, they're looking at someone like me, or one of our coaches, or maybe someone on Instagram, and they're like, oh my gosh, like, they know everything about the gym. And, they always have. But I mean, every single person, no matter what they're doing, they were a beginner at one point, and they literally had no idea what the hell they were doing. And so that was me. That was me in 2011, when I was first starting to get active, let's just say, or consistent in the gym. And I didn't really have to focus on nutrition, to be honest. When I was that young, in 2011, I was a senior in college, or in high school, excuse me, a senior in high school. And so, yeah, I didn't really have to focus on nutrition much. I played sports my whole entire life. And even when I went to college, I definitely didn't have to focus on nutrition too much, because I was so active. I played softball at Ohio University, and, yeah, when you play college sports, it is like a job times 10, because obviously you're doing school, but you have an hour of weights every single morning, an hour of conditioning every day, 4-hour practice, like, you name it. Like, you're so active that you could literally eat whatever you want. And obviously, in comparison to what I do now, with just working all day, I am not active like that at all. I wish that I wore like an Apple Watch or like an Aura ring. I wish those things were like actually a thing when I was in college, so I could like track how many steps I was taking every day, because I would not be shocked if I was like 30,000 steps a day. Like, it had to be something absolutely crazy. We were so active. But moral of the story is, my biggest priority from 2011 all the way through college through 2015 was primarily just on weights and lifting. And so when I got to college, I learned so much about lifting. I became so obsessed with it. I was hitting PRs, which stands for personal records, for every single lift. I mean, when you're a newbie and you're just getting into the gym, it is so much fun. Like, you are just like building strength every single day. You're just completely shocking yourself on like how capable you are of doing things. I remember I used to do pull-ups with like a band, and oh my gosh, I was very like lanky and long. When I was in college, And so pull-ups were really, really hard for me. Like if you're shorter, I always think about this, like shorter people, like you guys have such an easy time with like push-ups and pull-ups because your length to get up the range is so much shorter because your arms are so much shorter. But my arm span is like legit like like LeBron James. Like I swear, like my arms are so long. And imagine me just like hanging from like a pull-up bar, and it takes a while to get myself above the bar. Let's just say that. And so I just remember like being like a freshman in college, and just like I would always have to do like banded pull-ups. And I just remember one day my strength and conditioning coach, he was like, all right, like we're just gonna do pull-ups. And like we're gonna do them without a band. And one day we had like a PR day where our strength and conditioning coach made us like max out on certain lifts, like deadlifts and squats and like your basic lifts or your conventional like deadlifts and whatnot. But I remember like doing pull-ups for the first time, literally like no band, but because I had so much practice with it, I literally PR'd and did like 15 pull-ups in a row and just like completely like impressed myself. I was like, what the heck? But long story short, anyways, we mastered working out and exercise and whatnot, and that was amazing. And like most people, after college, I had an oh shit moment where obviously I wasn't as active. And let's just say nutrition became a really big deal and something that I really needed to focus on. But I had no idea what the hell I was doing. Like literally not at all. Like my favorite thing that I always say is like with nutrition, I was so clueless. Like I one of my funniest stories is just like I just thought that like, oh, if you're having a smoothie that means you're healthy, right? And so I would literally get like strawberries, bananas. I would literally put like a scoop or two of Ben and Jerry's in the blender, like protein powder, like you name it. But because I blended it all up, it was a smoothie and it had protein powder in it, so it had to be healthy, right? And oh my gosh, I was just so lost. I was literally so lost. Like, clearly that's not healthy. Like Ben and Jerry's ice cream in your smoothie. Like, come on. It's the middle of the day or the start of the day. And yeah, I was just completely lost. But speeding it up, I obviously was trying to figure out what in the world, like how do I figure this out? I got super like obsessed with like trying to figure out like how do I master my nutrition, and I got very obsessed to say the least. And so this is how I'm going to tie it into feminine and masculine energy. I got so obsessed with the way that I looked, with working out, with nutrition, with being perfect. The common story, like I hear every single day from clients, from even friends in the health and fitness space, like not everyone, but a lot of us go through this phase where we're learning about workouts, we're learning about nutrition, and our bodies are changing, right? Like our bodies change like from right after high school or right after college, just depending on what your situation was. But when you have that phase where you're like, oh my God, my body is completely changing, I really need to start paying attention to my workouts and my nutrition, like it's an oh shit moment. It's just like you never had to focus on that before. And so I became very, very, very obsessed. And this is exactly how it aligns with feminine and masculine energy, because when our energies are all out of whack, it can be so detrimental to our health and our relationship with our bodies and our health and fitness journey. Like, hence, like, I don't think a lot of people like recognize this, but like when we're talking about quote unquote balance, like you need to have balance in your health and fitness journey, like practice balance. Like a lot of people are like, oh, that just means like, if I have an apple today, that means I can have a piece of cake later. That's balance. Or, you know what I mean? Like that's how people like kind of take it. But I want to give you a different point of view on what balance is, because what balance truly means to me after 12 years being in the health and fitness industry, working with numerous clients, with building a community as big as we have inside of the Higher Standard, hearing their stories and whatnot, what balance means, what we all need to recognize is we need to have a balance of our energy. We need to have a balance of our feminine and masculine energy when it comes to our health and fitness journeys. Because when I'm looking back at the old version of me, when I was obsessed, when I was like food obsessed, when I was like workout obsessed, I mean, oh my gosh, when I got like my first Apple Watch, I was so obsessed with like how many calories can I burn, how many steps can I hit, you know, and just being super obsessive with like the number on the scale, my weight, like being super obsessed with like every single inch of my body, like and I'm gonna break it down for you, just what this looks like when it comes to feminine and masculine energies. And everything that I just said is very unhealthy masculine energy that I brought into my health and fitness journey. And so I'm going to talk about the positives of feminine and masculine energy in your health and fitness journey. And then I'm also going to talk about the negatives. I'll probably start with the negatives just so we can all kind of identify like, oh, is this me? Or am I more of the negative masculine energy in my health and fitness journey? Or am I more of the negative feminine energy in my health and fitness journey? And maybe you're neither, which is great. That means you're the positive side of it. And I'll talk about that as well. So let's talk about the negatives of feminine and masculine energy in our health and fitness journeys and see how we can actually balance these things out. So when it comes to masculine energy, what this could look like, unhealthy masculine energy in your health and fitness journey, what this tends to look like is when you are super obsessive. You're obsessed over every single calorie. You're obsessed with working out. You're obsessed with getting as many steps or burning as many calories or what have you. Like you can recognize that you're getting a little obsessed. I've been there. Okay. So I checked that one off. I checked that box off back in the day. The second negative trait for masculine energy in your health and fitness journey is just being super controlling. Like if you are saying like, no, I can't go out to eat tonight. No, I can't go with my friends. Or you're just being super controlling, like over everything. Like, hey, I can't do this because I have to eat that or eat this way. Or if any of those things are coming out of your mouth, just like having this like control issue over food or exercise or just anything with your health and fitness journey. And another negative trait is just being so obsessed and focused on the end goal. Okay, it's the only thing that matters. Being a size 4 is the only thing that matters to you, or being 130 pounds is the only thing that matters to you. And it's the only thing that you're focused on the entire duration of your health and fitness journey. You literally can't think of anything else because you're just so focused on being whatever this random number or goal or what have you. Like that is your number one focus. The next thing, this one's really important. This one hit me hard. Okay. I mean, obviously the end goal back in the day, I just remember it was so silly. I just remember I was like, I need to be like 135 pounds. Like I legit have not been 135 pounds since maybe middle school or like a freshman year of high school. Like I'm never going to weigh that much ever again. Like literally never. But now being where I am today, like I feel amazing. I feel awesome. And you know what? I'm like 25 pounds more than that end goal that I used to like have for myself, which was so stupid, like literally so stupid. And guess what? Like I am way happier now that I removed that stupid number out of my head, and I feel way more confident and I'm happier with life. Like when I was so obsessed with that stupid number, like I literally just hated, like, and I dreaded, and I was so sad and I was so upset with myself. And like, that's how I live my life. And like, it's just like, why are we doing that to ourselves? Literally nobody, not a single person that walks by you is looking at you and says, oh, I bet you she's not 130. Like literally nobody. Anytime like I even walk by someone's like, oh my gosh, like I would totally think that you weigh like whatever. Like, and they always say like a crazy number that's like way less than what I actually weigh. The number doesn't matter. Okay, straight up. But the next negative that is super important and something that I didn't recognize early on, but totally recognize now that I'm in a healthier place, is a negative trait of masculine energy in your health and fitness journey is when you lose your hunger cues. You have no idea whether or not you're just hungry at all times. Like you just think that you're hungry at all times. You don't know when you're satisfied, you don't know when you're hungry, like you just and for me, like I something that I would do is I would literally like wake up at 4:45 every single morning for work, and I would literally make oatmeal first thing in the morning at 4:45 in the morning. The oatmeal was like 800 calories because I put peanut butter in it and protein powder in it, and all of the works. And the thing is like, sure, like oatmeal, it can be healthy, but the biggest thing is just like, was I really hungry? Was I actually hungry at 4:45 in the morning? Like, no, I wasn't hungry, but I had no idea. I couldn't understand my hunger cues. And that's because I was, again, just super obsessed. And when you become super obsessed with like food and working out and nutrition, like for a lot of people, and this is what I was gonna get to as well. And I'm not gonna hit too hard on this, and maybe this is like a trigger warning for some people. So just a heads up on this, but one unhealthy masculine trait in your health and fitness journey, like when you have all of these unhealthy traits of masculine energy, a lot of women experience eating disorders. And if you're experiencing something to that extent, then this is where the feminine and masculine energy really plays a role, because when we're in our unhealthy masculine energy, that could be a possibility for you, is because you're being so obsessive, you're being so controlling, you're being so goal focused, all of these things, like that can turn into having some type of ED. And for me, it wasn't diagnosed or anything, but I would definitely say that I was on the spectrum of some type of like binge eating, where I just had zero hunger. Like I couldn't understand my hunger cues. I was so out of tune with my body. I could not listen to my body for what it needed or what it wanted. And I was so in my head and out of my body that, yeah, I would just eat all the time and just like no hunger cues, and overate. And like, I would try my hardest not to eat. And then, I would just lose control at night and just overeat and eat everything. And like to the point where like literally like I should have been full, but I had no hunger cues. I would just keep eating. So that's the extremity of unhealthy masculine energy and your health and fitness journey. And a couple other things when it comes to unhealthy masculine energy in your health and fitness journey is maybe your motivation is all external. So you're only on your health and fitness journey because you want to look a certain way, or because you want to hit a certain number, or because you want to impress somebody, or you want to look good for someone, or you want people to think that you're hot, or you want people to think that you're sexy, or whatever it is. It's all external motivation, right? And you're doing it for others' approval. That's unhealthy masculine energy. And then lastly is the all or nothing mindset. It's like, I have to be perfect or I'm not doing this at all. That is also a character trait of unhealthy masculine energy in your health and fitness journey. So that was a lot, but I could list quite a few more points when it comes to unhealthy masculine energy in your health and fitness journey, but I feel like that covers a lot of that. So that was the negatives of the masculine. And maybe you identified with some of those. I'm going to talk about the unhealthy version of feminine energy in your health and fitness journey, which is the other side of the spectrum. Sorry, I needed to take a drink for a second. So when it comes to negative traits of feminine energy in your fitness journey, this could look like if you're just winging it, you're just doing like Pinterest workout here and there, or maybe you're doing an Instagram workout, or, you're just doing things whenever you want kind of thing. The next thing is being inconsistent. that is a negative feminine trait in your health and fitness journey, when you have no rhyme or reason or rhythm of like taking care of yourself. It's just like sometimes you're doing things, sometimes you're not. You quit, you start something, you quit. Like, you're very inconsistent. And to go hand in hand with that, the next point is you're just too loose when it comes to your health and fitness journey, your nutrition, with workouts. Things are just a little too loose, and you don't really necessarily have like any type of structure or education or knowledge to what exactly you're doing. Which again rolls into my next point, which is lack of education around nutrition. So not doing your research, or not hiring someone, or just like not really having an idea of what exactly you're putting inside of your body. And so you can see that a lot of these traits are like the opposite of the negative masculine energy. And for me personally, I did not resonate with any of these negative feminine traits. I only identified with the negative masculine traits of my fitness journey. But the next negative trait for feminine energy in your fitness journey is lack of accountability. Not having that type of structure for yourself. And again, it all really ties into just being like very loose and just inconsistent overall. And the last point of negative feminine energy in your fitness journey is relying too heavily on motivation instead of relying on discipline, just being consistent and getting it done and showing up for yourself every single day. And just, really relying on like, oh, am I motivated today? Or, if I'm not, I guess I won't do anything. I guess I won't show up for myself, kind of thing. So if you identify with any of those are the negative feminine traits when it comes to your fitness journey. So I want you to kind of just, weigh those both out, and, maybe you have a little bit of both, who knows? Or maybe you really just identify with one. So first and foremost, something that's very important to me when it comes to working with clients, or just discussing these types of things with anybody, is it's really important, in order to have this self-mastery, or in order to reach any goal, you have to create self-awareness. And by having this conversation right now, I hope it's providing some self-awareness for you. And this is exactly what I wish that I had when I first started my health and fitness journey. And, I was working with a coach. So this is a little sneak peek of like things that, our clients and our community get to hear and get to learn about while being inside of the higher standard. It's so important that we talk about these types of things. We talk about the mindset, we talk about the personal development, we talk about the self-mastery, because those things are your groundwork for being successful in anything. It's your groundwork for being successful in your fitness journey, your relationships, your career. We have to build this self-awareness. If you don't have self-awareness, you will be lost. You will be lost. So we have to stop trying to skip this work. We can't skip this work. We just can't. We have to be focused on it. We have to be able to call ourselves out. We have to be able to get real and raw, and to create the self-awareness with ourselves. So let's flip the script. Let's talk about the positives, because when it comes to having #balance, that means that you need to have some type of healthy masculine and healthy feminine energy in your fitness journey. Okay, that is balance. We can't be all the way masculine, and we can't be all the way feminine. Okay, we have to have this balance. If we have too much masculine and we're all the way masculine, like I said, this could really lead to some type of obsessiveness, or some type of like control issues, or just being super like focused on external validation, or like I said, in worst cases could even lead to some type of eating disorder. But if we're too far right on the feminine energy side, this could lead to like literally never hitting your goals ever. It could lead to just like not really having a clue what the heck you're doing at all, and being inconsistent in showing up for yourself and your body, which we can't be doing that. Like, we only get one body, and we need to be showing up and taking care of her every single day. So let's talk about the positives and how we can use both feminine and masculine energy to have the most successful health and fitness journey possible. So as far as masculine energy goes, we need to have structure. And so what this looks like is having some type of structure for like knowing like what the heck you're eating or what workouts, you're doing and how many workouts, we need to have some type of structure in place so that we have some type of plan and we know what we're doing. So we need to have that structure, and that comes from our masculine energy. So if you currently do not have structure in your fitness journey, I encourage you to go find that. A lot of people find that through hiring a coach who can provide that structure for them, but you can find that structure in a workout plan somewhere else, but we need to be consistent with it overall. The next thing is planned workouts. So knowing what you're doing, how you're moving your body every single day is going to be super important. You do not need to work out every single day, but we should be moving our body every single day. It is so important that we are moving our body. Our bodies were not meant to be sitting all day long at a computer, at a desk. Like if you look at evolution and you look way back in the day, like we're walking, people were walking and up and going. So move your body, have planned workouts, have planned rest days where you're, doing some type of movement. It's going to be super important. And that comes from our healthy masculine energy. The next thing is for a lot of people when they're learning about nutrition, I do think that it's important that we have an understanding, a background knowledge of what the heck calories are, what the heck macros are, which is proteins, carbs, and fats, and having an understanding of what you specifically need for your specific body type. Like some people are 5'9", some people are 5 foot, some people, like everyone's background, everyone's like careers are different, everyone's lifestyle is different. So that means that the amount of calories that you need in your body in order to maintain your weight or to lose weight or to gain weight, it's going to look completely different. And you need to have some type of education of learning, like, what do you need? Like, what do you need? So just like learning about this, I think is super important. And that's going to come from your healthy masculine energy. And then again, just like having an understanding of proteins and the importance of protein and like being aware of like how much protein you're getting in so that you can keep your muscles satiated, and making sure that you learn about carbs and fats, especially as women. Like we need to have an understanding about how important fats are for our hormones, and we can't skip this part. We just literally can't skip this part. It's so important. And again, a lot of this comes from our healthy masculine energy, learning about this and being able to implement it into our day-to-day. No, you do not have to do this for the rest of your life, but I do think it's a very important starting point. It's very similar to learning subtraction, addition, multiplication, division. Like that's how I view macros and calories. Is now I don't need to like write on a piece of paper, 2 + 2, I can do it in my head. And so same thing for when you're transitioning from macros to intuitive eating. It's the same thing as like doing like pen to paper math to doing like math in your head. That's how I view it. So do the pen to paper, which is macros and calories, for as long as you need to do it. And then eventually you'll be able to do it in your head, which is intuitive eating. And we'll get to that in a few. Because obviously that's going to be a little bit more of like the feminine energy once you graduate. Okay. But we have to start with our healthy masculine energy of understanding calories and macros for our unique body type. The next thing is discipline. We need this in all areas of our life. We have to have some sort of discipline. The next is accountability. And lastly is understanding and education around nutrition, which I already kind of talked about. But all of those are our healthy masculine traits that can help us have a good experience with our health and fitness journeys, with our bodies, and hitting whatever goal you want to hit. For some of us, that's losing weight to get to a healthier body weight that we can be in to our day-to-day that makes us feel good and confident and energetic. Now for the positive feminine energy characteristics, here are the things that are very, very important. The very first one is being in tune with your body. For a lot of us, we are in our head. Okay, we're in our unhealthy masculine in our head. Okay, we have no idea how to get into our body because nobody teaches us this. Nobody talks about it, nothing. Okay, so I encourage you to do your own research. I encourage you to look into a few ways of like how to get into your body, how to get in tune with your body. Maybe this is doing some type of like journaling or reflecting. Okay, going throughout your day, eating how you eat, work out how you work out, and reflect. How did you feel? Okay. If you overate for whatever reason, why? Why did you do that? If you ate when you actually weren't hungry, why? Why did we do this? Get into a habit of understanding yourself and being able to reflect. So being in tune with your body is super important. Other ways you can do this is, just breath work, or a lot of people do yoga to get in tune with their body. But there's so many different ways, but I would encourage you to do your own research and look that up. The next is understanding your hunger cues. Okay. So again, having a gut check with yourself. I really highly recommend a journal. I'm a big journal, pen to paper kind of girl. And I think it's important to, just have this reflection time to yourself to have a better understanding of your hunger cues, and ask yourself, okay, when am I actually like the most hungry? And so for me, what this kind of looked like is like when I first started like trying to tap into getting in tune with my body and in tune with myself, I had to take a step back and I had to actually ask myself, Kaylin, like, okay, when are you actually hungry? And I played around with this a little bit with intermittent fasting. And intermittent fasting really, really helped me so much. It really helped me get in tune with my body and have a better understanding of like when I was hungry and when I wasn't. And I just recognized that I'm really not that hungry in the morning. I can honestly wait until like 11 or noon to eat, which has been so helpful and transformational for me. Because now I kind of like take my nutrition and my meals, and I do small, medium, large type of meal, or I'll just intermittent fast and I'll do a medium meal and a large meal. But you can kind of play around with this with yourself, and just ask yourself those questions. Like, when am I the most hungry? Like maybe your intermittent fasting is later in the day and you eat most of your meals in the beginning of the day. Either way, it doesn't matter. But have an understanding of your hunger cues is super important. And that comes from our healthy feminine energy and being in tune with our body. The next thing is being internally motivated instead of externally motivated. And what that means, and this is so important on your health and fitness journey, and it's hard to get here, to be honest. It's really hard to go from being externally motivated and, like wanting to fit into a certain bikini, or wanting to fit into your jeans or a dress, or wanting to see a number on the scale, like going from that to being internally motivated and just telling yourself like, hey, like, I'm working out and I'm nourishing my body because I love myself. I'm working out and I'm nourishing my body because I care about myself and my body. I'm doing this because I want to feel replenished and energized. I'm doing this because I want to feel nourished. Getting there is really, really hard for a lot of us, but when you do, that is your positive feminine energy. When you're working out and moving your body and you're eating healthy because you love yourself. And so this again is why personal development is so important along your health and fitness journey, because we have to figure out ways to come back to ourselves and love ourselves. Because when we're on our health and fitness journeys because we hate ourselves and we're coming at it in a negative, like unhealthy, masculine way, like your health and fitness journey is going to suck. Like straight up, like it's not going to be fun at all. But if we can come at our health and fitness journey in a positive, healthy, feminine energy way, and we do it in a way because we love ourselves, and maybe we're not where we want to be, obviously, like when most of us start our health and fitness journey, we're not where we want to be. But if we can get into this place where we're like, I'm starting this journey because I love myself and I want to show up for myself and I want to take care of this one body that I'm gifted in this lifetime. And we can show up for ourselves every single day with that healthy mindset. You're going to have a way like way more enjoyable health and fitness journey, because you're able to fall in love with the process, right? Instead of hating the process, instead of looking at workouts like a chore, instead of looking at, nutrition as like restriction, you're looking at it more so in a brighter light of thinking like, oh, I get to move my body. This is amazing. I get to take care of myself. I get to nourish myself. Like, getting in that headspace will be a game changer. It takes a while, but if you're intentional with it, it is a game changer. And then last but not least, positive, healthy, feminine energy is having a 1% better mindset and a something is better than nothing mindset. And this is just being easy on yourself instead of just being, like a military drill sergeant on yourself. It's just like, yo, you're going to be on your health and fitness journey for the rest of your life. So like, why do you need results tomorrow? Why are you putting that crazy expectation on yourself? Literally, quite literally, nobody has ever lost 30 pounds overnight. So I don't know why you're telling yourself that you need to do that. You don't need to do that. Okay. Like, and even if you do have like a wedding that you have to be at this summer, you probably have a wedding that you need to be at next summer. Okay. So it's just like, take it one day at a time. You're going to be on your health and fitness journey for the rest of your life. You're going to be taking care of this body for the rest of your life. So having the 1% better mindset and the something is better than nothing mindset is going to set you up for success and make you fall in love with the process so much more. Okay. And so the 1% better mindset just means, take a look at what you did yesterday and then today, just do 1% better. Okay. So if you skipped your workout yesterday, just work out today. Okay. Or, maybe you ordered out yesterday, just maybe cook at home today. Okay. You don't need to do anything drastic. You don't need to do anything insane. And then the something is better than nothing mindset. Basically what that means is if you literally can't get to the gym for whatever reason, today, instead of having an all or nothing mindset and getting mad at yourself that you can't go to the gym and then now you quit your health and fitness journey because of this small little thing, something is better than nothing. So maybe you don't go to the gym. Maybe you just go on a walk when you get home. That's fine. That's fine. You still moved your body. Okay. Just as long as it's like not every single day that like something is popping up and getting in the way of you being consistent. Just something's better than nothing. And if something is popping up every single day and making you inconsistent, then maybe you need to rearrange your schedule. Just be self-aware. And that's just the hard truth. And that's my masculine energy coming at you, giving you tough love. Okay. But I know this was a lot, but I thought it was very, very important. Feminine and masculine energy is something that we have been talking about a lot inside of our community. And I think it's just very important to have this self-awareness and to be able to bring this to light, because it impacts every area of your life and especially your health and fitness journey. And so if you're able to recognize any of these characteristics in yourself, I hope this helped you, create one step further of that self-awareness for yourself. So that's all I have for you in today's episode. If you liked this episode, I would absolutely love it from the bottom of my heart. Would be so grateful if you could leave a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify, and please leave a written review as well. And if you would not mind, take a screenshot of this podcast, share it on Instagram, tag me. I would love to see that you listened to this episode. Share it with a friend if this really, stood out to you and resonated with you. I would really, really appreciate it if you could just share it to 1, 2, 3 friends, who knows? But that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for listening, and I will catch you on the next episode.